Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the main card fights for UFC Fight Night, Waterson versus Hill. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the main card. So in our first fight, we have in the bantamweight division, the women's bantamweight division, Julia Avila versus Sijara Eubanks. So this fight was actually scheduled for the last card, but because Avila had some issues weight cutting or whatnot, I don't know if that's even acceptable these days, but I guess everything's acceptable these days because it's COVID. So it's like, and it's 2020, so that's like, just do whatever you want. And yeah, they gave her a chance to push the card back another week. And also because they're not really traveling. It's just at the same exact location every single week. So they're kind of more lenient now. But yeah, they pushed this fight to the next week. Same location, different week. So we got Avila versus Eubanks. But my prediction doesn't change. I think the issue with her weight cutting definitely opens some interest for Eubanks. Like, you got a fighter that maybe hurt, struggling to weight cut, and maybe you could kind of get her out of there early, given that Eubanks is not a cardio fighter herself, or the fighter that's going to be really the fighter that's going to be pushing the pace from round 1 to round 3 to the bell. Maybe she could try to get out of there earlier. Maybe she's going to be weaker. Maybe she's going to be this. Maybe she's going to be drained. And then you could get her out of there with a finish. And also, you're the better grappler, so maybe that'd be an opportunity. But how I see this fight is, I'm not going to weigh that in too much. And all I'm going to say is that Avila is much better striker. Not that Eubanks is a bad striker. It's just that she's not a great striker. I think her confidence in her grappling is good. I mean, her confidence in her grappling is on point because she deserves all that confidence. But her striking, definitely, like, I feel like the confidence not there as much, and the tools aren't there as much. I feel like Avila is just much sharper on the striking. And I feel like she can neutralize the grappling enough that she can take it out of the first round where Eubanks will be most dangerous with her grappling and really overall be the most dangerous. And I feel like Avila can keep that pace and keep that strength. As a matter of fact, get stronger as the fight goes on, where Eubanks on the suffer as the fight goes on. So I feel like the first round going to be kind of tight, but as the fight goes on, especially like second, then died by the third, I feel like Avila really going to be putting it on Eubanks in the third, with Eubanks just kind of just breathing heavy and not really being able to give much back. But enough to keep her through, survive the fight and make it to the decision, but not to win the fight. So in this fight, I have Julia Avila via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the light heavyweight division, Herman versus Mike Rodriguez. So Rodriguez is coming off a beautiful performance. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. So he really fought real recent and got a real nice win. Not over the best competition. I'm forgetting the guy's name right now. It don't really even matter, but I know exactly who I'm talking about. But yeah, it was a real statement performance from Rodriguez. Went out there and like killed the dude with the elbows in the clinch, and it's really destroyed him in the clinch. But yeah, good performance. Now we got Herman, veteran of the game, definitely up there in age. And he kind of fights. He definitely fights like his age and his experience and his wear and tear. Like, you see his skills still there. He's still very dangerous in the clinch. In the clinch, striking still holds up pretty well, but definitely a slower fighter. Definitely doesn't have the same cardio. Definitely a fighter that's like, they kind of like on their last string a little bit, so they got to kind of fight smarter and find ways to win. It's not like he's so like the most technical fighter anyway, but it's like he does and it has little tricks he has and little stuff he learns to like get by and get wins in these fights. But I don't think it's going to be enough to really beat Rodriguez. I think in the clinch, Rodriguez can hold his own with him in the clinch. I think at distance, he's a faster fighter, the sharper fighter. I think Herman packed a little bit more power in his punches. But I feel like Rodriguez, with his reach and his speed, I feel like he can tag Herman up and really beat him to the punch, beat him to the kick. I think, like I said, I think in the clinch, he can hold his own. And I think with his height and the fact that he's not like one of those wrestlers that's going to be like really leaning their heads over, trying to do something with the wrestling. Like, he's not even going to be trying to do this. I don't think his head's going to really be in position for Herman to really get some good, clean knees off that could really change anything. I think the knees to the body can, just maybe slow him down a little bit, get him to react or get him to, get a reaction out of him or get some type of success off it. But I don't think there's nothing that's going to be sustaining that's going to be like, oh, this is going to really start draining Rodriguez over the round. It's more so, wake him up or get him alert, make him respect him or make him slow down or have to address it. But that's really about all I think Ed Herman can do in this fight. He can make an exciting fight, but really more so I think all he can present in this fight is present issues that Rodriguez has to address. But I think Rodriguez has all the tools to address everything Herman can present. Like, I think in the clinch, he can hold his own with him in the clinch, even though I don't think that's the best area necessarily. But given that last performance, he might have success. But then again, the last guy he fought, not really good in the clinch or really good anywhere outside of darn heavy kicks. That's about it. But yeah, I just see Mike Rodriguez doing, like I said, faster, sharper, younger. And I think he's skilled enough to avoid some of the areas where Ed Herman might try to do his savvy veteran game or work some little things in there. So I just really see Rodriguez is really just not 10 off, but like using his speed and using his reach to land shots from afar and not really allowing Herman to really have success. And I think in the clinch, I think he even beats Herman in the clinch, but doesn't stay there too long to allow Herman, to really find true success. And also, I think he gives Herman, a lot of fighters, or a couple fighters Herman beat, they allow Herman to get these moments where he can rest and clinch. Like, veterans do find ways in fights where, their cardio's not there anymore. Their body's been through a lot. They find areas in the fight where they can rest. I feel like Rodriguez is not going to give him those areas to rest. And that's like going to definitely pay into Rodriguez getting the victory. Like, keep working, keep being active. And that's the thing a older fighter can't really do. They can't be active. They got to find ways to slow the fight down. I think Rodriguez is not going to give him those avenues. Like I said, be faster, be sharper, beat him to punch, outstrike him, outland him, and never give him opportunities to find his safe spots, his rest spots, and just keep him working and keep outworking him. So in this fight, I got Mike Rodriguez via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the lightweight division, Alan Patrick versus Bobby Green. So I see this fight right here. Bobby Green's the better striker, the better boxer. Overall, like I said, Alan Patrick has his areas where he's probably better than a striker. But like I said, overall, I think Bobby Green's clearly a better striker. It's shown in who he's beaten, who he's done. Like, you just clearly see he's the better striker. Well, Alan Patrick, what I see him is he's really a grappler. And I think everyone knows it's like nobody says, oh, he's a striker. Everybody see this guy that's really wants to, when he fights a guy that's better striker than him, he wants to explode and shoot these like herky-jerky takedowns for far out and just trying to just manhandle you to the ground. Like, not even the best technique on his takedown. Just full on running at you and trying to duck under and just throw you to the ground. Takedown, like real sloppy takedown, like panic, desperado takedowns. Just hold on you and beat on you on the ground, or just hold on you for dear life and get a decision. That's what Patrick has really been against good competition. But I see against Bobby Green. Bobby Green's a solid wrestler and has been in there with some real deal wrestlers and been able to hold his own, been able to submit a couple of them, been able to get back to his feet and beat them. So I don't really see Patrick's wrestling present any issue, especially with how herky-jerky it is. The fact I think it's going to be telegraphed. Matter of fact, he telegraphed his takedowns. It's more so the strength. Like, you see it coming, you could defend it today. He just be so big that he just takes people to the ground. But Bobby Green, I think even if he gets taken down, he's going to pop right back up. I think, matter of fact, he may be able to catch him with an uppercut or a flying knee. I think everything Patrick does is going to be over-committing and telegraph. And a guy like Bobby Green with such quick reflexes and so smooth and so receptive, like I said, good reflexes, good eye, good timing. I think he can really pick apart a guy like Patrick who's going to be so like I said, so desperado and so overreaching with everything to do with his striking, with his punching. He's always overextending and telegraphing, which is going to, like I said, against a guy like Bobby Green, he's going to take advantage of it. But Bobby Green's not really like a knockout puncher, but I think he definitely can hurt Patrick in these moments and definitely slow him down, shut him down, start to pepper away at him. I think he can make this a very clear decision. I think Patrick can make it interesting with his, like I said, with those desperado takedowns and trying to muscle him up. But over the course of the fight, stuff like that, when it's not successful, drains heavily on you. So I just really think early on it's going to be a little bit interesting for the fact that how Patrick is trying to force things. But forcing things and not having success and getting peppered up, that's going to slow you down. Then like probably at least half of that second round and all that third round is going to be like a drained fighter with no other avenues, except just being in front of him, breathing heavy and getting picked apart by the smooth boxing of Bobby Green. So in this fight, I got Bobby Green via decision. Now to our next fight we have in our co-main event in the women's flyweight division, Andrea Lee versus Roxanne Modafferi. And this is a pretty straight one right here. All love to Modafferi. She's a cool girl, like anime and like nerd stuff, and I respect her for that. And let me not cuss. And I vibe with her for that. Don't try to take away, don't demonetize me for that one curse word I said after like 500 videos. But yeah, I vibe with her. But look at this fight stylistically wise. I think Andrea Lee is clearly the better striker between the two. It isn't like she's a shorter fighter or inexperienced fighter. She's an experienced fighter as well. Definitely not as experienced as Modafferi, but she's experienced. So she's not like some greenhorn. So she's a cleaner striker. She knows what Modafferi brings. And she brings a far more technical and proven kickboxing, striking background than Modafferi. And Modafferi's striking has never been her best suit. We know it's like almost a striker versus grappling matchup. But I think Andrea Lee could hold her own with her and Modafferi in grappling, like, as far as takedown defense and not getting put in positions where Modafferi can truly dominate the ground. More so, Modafferi, she gets the takedowns. Like, Andrea Lee is going to be quick on the whizzer, quick back to her feet, and then go back to just picking apart Modafferi on the feet. I think she might get a stop in the fight, but I'm going to lean more to a decision. Like, I feel like when Modafferi, I think Andrea Lee's going to respect Modafferi's grappling enough that she's not going to really try to be too much on her with her striking to try to put her away, which is going to allow Modafferi to be close for clinches and takedowns, which is going to allow her to get back in the fight. More so, I feel like Andrea Lee's going to fight a more patient, smart fight from the outside, chew at Modafferi's legs, pepper her face up with jabs, kick her to the body, and like really mix it in well, and just wear down Modafferi and keep her at bay, keep her at range, and tag her up from range. But I feel like Modafferi's gonna get in something like that. She's gonna get in, try it, maybe even get close some takedowns. But I feel like Andrea Lee's gonna be like that wizard, gonna be on there instantly. She's gonna be back, pop up to her feet, and not allow Modafferi to have any real ground control. And like I said, keep her at distance, pick her apart, never allow her to really get any true ground control, or matter of fact, even hold on the ground at all in this fight, and pick her apart from distance. So in this fight, I got Andrea Lee via decision. Now to our main event we have in the women's strawweight division, Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill. So this is a very interesting fight. And I say this a lot. Don't think just because I say every fight is interesting that it's not. It is a very interesting fight. Or maybe I'm just saying that. But right here they're saying it's still a 5-by-5 round, so it's a 5-rounder. But sometimes they might say, if Zabit don't have to fight 5 rounds, why do we have to fight 5 rounds? So by the time the fight happens, it might be a 3-rounder. But at the time I'm looking at it, it's a 5-round fight. So if it's like fight day, this is a 3-round fight, that's why. Because I'm looking at it right now and it's a 5-round fight. So we got Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill. And I believe they are both former Invicta atomweight champions, so 105. So 2 women that could really go down a weight class if the UFC had another weight class. And this probably will be a title fight itself right here. Because who else at this point is on that level at 105 in the UFC? I think most of the women in the UFC right now can't make it to 105. So probably be a handful of women who could be at 105 right now. And then they probably bring over some women from Invicta and other organizations. And these women will be right at the top. So this will be a title fight if there was an atomweight division in the UFC. Like I said, both former Invicta champions. So you got Waterson, who was the Invicta champion before. She was the Invicta champion, lost belt, then she came to the UFC through the Ultimate Fighter. Angela Hill was on the Ultimate Fighter, lost, made it to the UFC, lost a couple fights, then was cut, then became the atomweight champion, and then came back to the UFC, is the Invicta atomweight champion. And they both kind of had a similar path. I think Michelle Waterson was more respected as far as, at least around her UFC career, and in Ultimate Fighter and Invicta, because she was at least having success. She was a champion of Invicta before she came over at one point. So by that point, she was already respected by the time she came to UFC. When Angela Hill came over, you saw that she had good striking. You saw that she had a lot of talent, but she wasn't quite respected. You kind of say this a 500 fighter, and you didn't really put her up there in the title picture. But they both, like I said, I really, just to make it very broad and basic, what we're trying to go with this is that you didn't see these women as fighters that really shook up the division or were a worry to anyone in the division. Now you see both of them have fought women who have been by the title or held the title in the UFC, and really you could say beat them. Hill, I feel she beat Gedalia. Waterson, I feel she beat Esparza. Both of them lost their fights, but those 2 fights where you feel they beat the company, and you probably say flashback 3 years, maybe even 2 years, you probably say, no, there's no way they're gonna give them no problem. They're gonna lose that fight. Esparza gonna take her down and just hold her down to decision. She's not gonna do nothing about it. Or you say against Gedalia versus Hill, Gedalia just gonna probably outstrike her, drop her, and submit her in the first round or second round. Matter of fact, or just take her down. She's not gonna have no answer for it. But now you see, at this given point, Hill's takedown defense is looking much better. Her confidence is looking much better. She's getting wins. She was stringing together 3 wins. Really should be on a 4-fight win streak. But basically, with both these women, you have seen them show leaps and bounds and just keep going at it. You see them catch up. Matter of fact, catch up and even surpass women who you feel like they would never catch up to. And you see that with a couple people in the division. You saw that with Rose Namajunas versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So you see women the game is always evolving. So you can't just be this person's always gonna be better than this person. Stuff definitely changes. It has definitely changed with both of these women. But how I see this fight right here, I did a whole long monologue or prelude or whatever with this thing, but this fight is very interesting. I see them both as, matter of fact, let me go broad. Let me go down the stats how I see it. Then let me go to get the prediction out of the way and get this video out of the way. But with Michelle Waterson versus Hill, they're both the same height, but it was just surprising. It seemed like Hill is so much longer than Waterson, but they're actually both 5'3", but who knows? Maybe Waterson line, maybe Hill is kind of underestimating her own height. But Hill definitely feels like the longer fighter. I feel like she definitely got the longer legs and arms than Waterson. But I guess Waterson got a longer torso, I believe. I don't know. But I feel like Hill is much longer, or just how she's built. But they're the same height. But Hill will have a 3 to 4 inch reach advantage over Waterson, which is important. Hill is more active than Waterson. Her defense is better than Waterson. But on the other side, Waterson is the more well-rounded fighter. I feel like, and also she's not a Gedalia that's going to have cardio issues, and her striking defense is better than she's not going to be as easy to hit as Gedalia. She's not going to slow down like Gedalia, and she's not going to be as easy to hit as Gedalia. But she does slow down. I feel like Hill's not a fighter that really slows down. She's a fighter that gets stronger as the fight goes on. As long as she's in the fight, she gets stronger, because you see her build. She's not a big, powerful fighter. She's a technical, skinny, slim fighter. So those type of fighters typically get better as the fight go on, whereas these muscle-bound or more muscular fighters tend to slow down. And Waterson, she's not a muscle-bound fighter either, but you did see she did allow Esparza to win some parts in that fight. I'm not saying she's muscle-bound or anything or none of that stuff. I'm saying she did show that she slowed down, where we have not really seen Hill slow down. So between the two, cardio, I would probably lean to Hill more well-rounded, or who has more avenues, lean to Waterson. Pure striking, if they were in like a real deal striking matchup, I would pick Hill to win against Waterson in like a straight up striking matchup. A couple years back, I would lean to Waterson all day against Hill, but I've seen Hill's takedown defenses at like 72%, and I think it's actually rising. Matter of fact, it was actually a little bit higher. I don't know, but either way, it's definitely rising. But I see this fight like, so Hill's more active. She gets stronger as the fight goes on. Neither of them are necessarily finishing type fighters, especially not Waterson. I think the last person Waterson finished was Paige Van Zandt, and Paige Van Zandt hasn't been the same in years, so not really looking at a finish on Waterson's side, and not really seeing a finish on Hill's side, because at this level of competition, and the fact that they're not really prolific finishers, I see it as a decision. I see the height and reach, and the fact that Hill has more arsenal. Like Waterson, she's a very versatile fighter, but she doesn't have the most well-rounded skill set as far as strike. Like she might have a little stepping knee kicks, a spinning kick, a stepping side kick, a little overhand, a jab, but not the most round skill set. Whereas Hill, she can mix it up a lot of ways. She can do everything Waterson can do outside the karate side kicks and stepping side kicks and front kicks and stuff, a little spinning stuff. But outside that, she mixes up to the body with her punches better. She's better than clinching with knees. She's better at calf kicks, thigh kicks. She's better at inside kicks. In all those areas, like multiple areas, she's better. She's better, like I said, she's better in the clinch than Waterson, but Waterson's better on the ground for sure. And I feel like that's definitely an avenue where Waterson can thrive and get it to the ground and separate herself on the scorecard. But I feel like with the Hill's takedown defense improving, I feel like that will keep the fight on her feet for the most part. And I feel like I said, the stats reflect that Hill at least on average, those 2 more strikes per minute, like 2.30 more strikes per minute than Waterson. The longer reach, the faster fighter, or at least with the volume. I think one strike, Waterson, like with that karate background, one strike versus one strike, Waterson's the fastest striker, but Hill would throw in volume, whereas Waterson won't. And that's why Hill's striking average is higher. So in this fight that's going to be this close and this tight, I'm leaning to the fighter that's putting up more volume. More volume, more chance of fights, punches and kicks and knees and elbows that have significant value to them. So she's going to be more active. She's going to be throwing more shots. And that's going to be the deciding factor. And the fact that she gets stronger as the fight goes on. And Waterson either stays mostly the same or gets weaker as the fight goes on. So lean to this fight. In a very close fight, I feel like Hill's work rate is going to be able to get her the victory over Waterson. So in this fight, I have Angela Hill via decision. And that concludes my fight predictions for the main card of UFC Fight Night, Waterson versus Hill. And as always, thanks for watching.